House Intelligence Chair Devin Nunes now voicing his outrage over why the author of the discredited Trump dossier isn't facing criminal charges.
Christopher Steele lied to the FBI, and I can't for the life of me know when you have the House who said that, hey, this guy lied to the FBI, and you have the Senate who said this guy lied to the FBI, Christopher Steele. What is the Justice Department doing? Where is the prosecution of Christopher Steele? This is a slam dunk case.
Joining me right now, Fleitz, a former CIA analyst and chief of staff to Ambassador John Bolton, now a senior vice president at the Center for Security Policy. Good to see you, Fred.
Hey, Trish.
What do you think? I mean, should Christopher Steele be held accountable here?
Yes, I think a lot of people should be held accountable. We're learning from the the memo produced by House Republicans that the FISA court was repeatedly told things that simply weren't true. I mean, in terms of bias, in terms of agendas, in terms of misrepresenting where information came from. I think the trick is we have to get Christopher Steele back in the country so he can be prosecuted, which is going to be difficult.
Is it Christopher Steele's fault that the FISA court didn't get the whole story?
No, I don't think it's the FISA court's fault. I think the fault is in the Justice Department, and that's why we have to get the transcript of this warrant request in October 2016 and another one in June of 2016, which the FISA court turned down, to find out what was the Justice Department saying to this judge to justify spying on a member of a political campaign.
Fred, I'm with you on that. I would love to see that transcript, because right now everything that we're getting is colored by a political bias one way or the other. And even if you say, okay, well, we're going to take totally Devin Nunes at his word, and the Republican memo is fair, the reality is you still have the Democratic memo out there, most of which now can't be seen because there's too many national security concerns. I want to see it all, Fred. I want to look at every single last bit of it. I mean, they'll have to redact some stuff, but shouldn't we as Americans be able to see what really transpired?
I mean, was the Steele memo the main reason they requested this warrant? That either is or isn't true. The transcript will show that. Did they play down the fact that the Hillary Clinton campaign and the DNC financed this memo? That either is or isn't true. The Steele memo will show that. But, Trish, I want this earlier FISA court hearing transcript also declassified, because the FISA court actually turned that down, which is unheard of. What was said in that request that was so outrageous and political that they turned it down? And how did they tweak this memo to get the warrant in October of 2016?
What do you think of the Democrats here coming forward with this memo that the White House now cannot release because they didn't redact enough of the stuff that they should have redacted?
Well, I've talked to the Intelligence Committee on this. This was a badly written memo. It's full of classified information. It has personal attacks on Congressman Gowdy and Congressman Nunes. And when there was a vote on the Republican memo, the Democrats threw out their memo, which no one on the committee, none of the Republican members had even seen. They had not even seen it, Trish. And they were told right then, vote our memo out. It's 10 pages long. You can imagine the Republican members paging through this thing, trying to find out what's in it. It's a stunt. It's a stunt to distract from the fraudulence of this Russia investigation.
Wow. It feels like we've had a lot of stunts there. I hear you. They could have come forward with a cleaner memo, but instead, now it just makes the administration look as though they're trying to hide something because they're not releasing the Democrats' memo.
Well, there's an argument being, well, look, the FBI objected to two memos, so let's just release both of them. No, the FBI objected to the Republican memo on substance. It didn't like what it said. It didn't say it was classified. It didn't like being criticized. Too bad. That's intelligence oversight. The FBI has no right to say you can't release something that's overseeing us because we disagree with it. But classification problems, that's a different matter, and that's why the Democratic memo is being withheld.